Welcome to our Gallery of Greats, where you can discover the genius, the vision, the beauty and the passion behind some of the world's greatest works. These are the people who have added their own special work in progress. Italy. He was a visionary who turned the film world on its ear. Federico Fellini challenged convention, broke the rules and created outrage. He was also one of the most important and influential cinema directors the world has seen. Decades on, films like La Strada, La Dolce Vita, 8½, and Fellini Satyricon remain cinema classics, permanent fixtures on the must-see lists. An acute observer of people, Fellini was a true artist, capturing his subjects brilliantly on both celluloid and paper.
Tutto questa mostra ha un'importanza notevole perché mostra degli aspetti di Fellini che noi stessi in Italia non conoscevamo, nel senso che tutti sapevamo della sua abilità nel disegnare, ma nessuno poteva immaginare quando l'arte pittorica in lui potesse raggiungere dei livelli alti come nel caso che questa mostra dimostra.
E credo un artista unico, come è stato definito, lui è stato definito il più importante, l'uomo più importante del secolo scorso, e sono d'accordo con questo giudizio che è stato dato.
Eccentric, poignant, shocking, his films were always original.
You can be influenced by Fellini, but you cannot imitate Fellini. It's a disaster because pure art can never be imitated.
His dreams inhabited his films, with surreal images, absurd comedy, and tender drama.
8½is a great film. If you go see 8½, you go, this is great. But if you've directed a film, especially a feature film, and see it again, you see it with different eyes. And it's like when you meet directors, no matter what language they speak, it's like, you saw 8½? I saw 8½. You look like you get in the corner and you talk about 8½.
He was very pure and honest to his imagination, and that imagination is very viable and comprehensible to us now.
Fellini lives on through his films. As he once said, there is no end, there is no beginning, there is only the infinite passion of life. Arriving on cinema screens in the 1950s, Sophia Loren captivated audiences around the world. A sensuous, passionate woman on screen, she and real-life lover, the divorced producer Carlo Ponti, famously battled the Vatican and the state in quest of a legally recognized Italian marriage.
Clear the wine out, please. How do you count for the wedding breakfast?
What wedding breakfast?
Well, it's reported that you had a wedding breakfast with
I
all
was
relations.
just having an Easter with my family, with my sister and my fiancé, Carlo.
When are you getting back to Paris?
When you will be getting married, Miss Loren?
I hope very soon.
Eventually, both were forced to leave Italy, becoming French citizens and marrying there. While Loren's professional career flourished, so too did family life. Finally, after several miscarriages, she became a mother. A highly awarded actress, over a long career she has worked with the best, yet remembers her humble beginnings.
Io che vengo da Pozzuoli, che non ho fatto né la scuola drammatica, non ho fatto scuola di recitazione, non ho fatto niente, Charlie Chaplin mi chiede di fare un film, io dico no, I cannot work for you, it's impossible.
In 1962, she was the first actress to win an Oscar for a non-English speaking performance, and continues today to captivate people around the world.
She is the first native of Italy to be inducted into the National Italian-American Foundation's Hall of Fame. My loving dear friend, Sophia Loren, the incomparable Sophia.
Incomparable is true. Who else in their 70s could grace a Pirelli calendar? Truly, she is a lady of style and one of the world's cinema treasures.
Well, I think it's wonderful because it feels like Italians mean a lot for American people, and to receive this award for being the first Italian to receive this award to go into the Hall of Fame is absolutely incredible.
In a small village in Florence, in this very house, the great Michelangelo was born in 1475. He left an enduring legacy, exquisite art and architecture, breathtaking in their beauty, detail and perfection. Like his contemporary, Leonardo da Vinci, he studied anatomy, capturing the extraordinary detail. The muscles, sinews, and textures that give the human form such beauty. These drawings are some of the few remaining in existence. Intensely private about his methods, he destroyed most of his working drawings before he died. Michelangelo began working as a child and in his 20s completed two of his most important works: the sculptures La Pieta and the Statue of David. Michelangelo's appreciation of the male form is evident in all his work, and David is a magnificent example. Throughout his career, Michelangelo's contributions to the state and the church were immense. At the age of 74, not young even by today's standards, he took over as architect of St. Peter's Basilica, designing the elegant dome, which was completed after his death. His commissions for the Sistine Chapel are considered amongst the most important frescoes in Western art. Powerful and inspiring. Here surely we have the hand of God in the hands of a master. One of the key figures of World War II, Benito Mussolini shaped and shook Italy's history over many years. Never one for humility, he liked to be known as Il Duce, the leader. Mussolini's rush to power began with the end of World War I. Italy was politically unstable, with heavy unemployment and inflation. Mussolini, an avowed anti-socialist, believed in state above all, with no room for the individual. In his mind, he was the leader the country needed, quote-unquote, ruthless and energetic enough to make a clean sweep. Although he did implement some positive changes, his political ambitions and dictatorial rule caused far greater pain and suffering. Generally seen as one of the main architects of fascism, Mussolini gathered together bands of followers, known as the Black Shirts, who terrorized all opponents, helping him into power. Installed as Prime Minister by the King, Mussolini soon stripped away all remnants of democracy, running the country as an absolute autocrat. He set himself on a quest for a new Italian empire, invading Abyssinia, now Ethiopia. His alliance with Hitler pushed him to declare war on England and France, putting troops in war fronts across the world, suffering humiliating defeats and tragic loss of life. Captured in 1943, he was imprisoned but escaped. 2 years later, he was captured again and executed. His body hung on display for public celebration. Over 400,000 Italians died during World War II. In 1946, Italy became a republic with a new anti-fascist constitution. In this satellite age, sending messages across the universe is no big deal. Yet this man paved the way when he developed radio transmission back in 1895. Constantly honing the technology, he experimented with transmitters, radio waves and microwaves, successfully transmitting thousands of kilometers across the oceans and into space.
Over a considerable period, in fact since the closing years of the last century, I had striven to give the world improved and cheaper means of communication by electrical transmissions through space. Not a little of this time had been devoted to the development of systems which would afford mariners a surer and safer aid to navigation, and thereby a larger measure of safety and security for the passengers who travelled with them.
Interestingly, radios were initially used on ships for passenger messages, a healthy source of revenue for the Marconi company, which exclusively operated the radios. Safety was in fact not the primary issue at all. The Titanic changed all that. Over 700 survivors from the ship that was unsinkable owe their lives to the SOS transmitted from Marconi's radio. It was now apparent that it was essential for all ships to carry radios, manned 24 hours a day. Now it is impossible to imagine how many lives have been saved thanks to this invention. Marconi's wireless technology opened the door to a wider world of communications. It seems a long way now from the old Bakelite radio in the living room. There's television, the mobile phone, wireless internet. All made possible thanks to the dogged work of Guglielmo Marconi. It is a city that oozes history, mystery and romance from every arch, pillar, fountain and square, in fact, from every stone. 2,000 odd years of civilization, and not always so civilized, have shaped Rome as one of the most important cultural cities in the world. At the ancient Colosseum, the largest amphitheatre ever built in the Roman Empire, it's hard not to pick up on the atmosphere. You can almost hear the rumbling of wheels, the clash of steel, and the roar of 50,000 spectators all baying for blood. And if that's not enough for you, well, there's always Gladiator School. There's something for everyone in Rome, known as the world's most famous open-air museum. And with the world's tiniest state, the Vatican City, nestled in its midst, it abounds with exquisite art and architecture. Even for the first-time visitor, its scenery is familiar, the backdrop for so many classic cinema moments. The romance and history of the city is not all, however. It's cosmopolitan and exciting, a bustling, thriving world centre. It is the political, administrative and cultural capital of Italy and houses the world headquarters of the Roman Catholic Church. With its historic centre listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, Rome is the third most visited city in the European Union. It attracts up to 10 million tourists annually, a figure that can double in holy years. The Vatican museums and the Colosseum draw more than 4 million tourists annually, ranking them amongst the world's top 50 tourist spots. The Eternal City, eternally popular. One word says it all.
We are trying new front suspension.
Ferrari.
It's a good test drive. Our car is going quite well now.
It's a name famous around the world. It's an incredible speed machine. It's brilliant design and engineering. It's courageous driving. And it's a team pulling together to realize a dream. Enzo Ferrari's dream. Ferrari devoted his life to car racing. he was a mechanic, a test driver for Alfa, and won several major races himself. He also put together a team of race drivers dominating the sport. But he wanted more, to design, build and race the best car in the world. He revolutionized the industry with his V12 engine and assembled a crack racing team. His supercars were paired with super drivers, and his engineers, mechanics and crews were the best of the best. The Ferrari name and the prancing horse emblem were synonymous with success.
We have fans all around the world. When we are in Japan, only red flags are on the circuit. It's the same in Germany. I think Ferrari comes to the root of motorsport.
Forza Schumi, forza Ferrari!
Forza Schumacher, vincerà.
Last year they hate me, now they love me.
Go! Ferrari, super klang. Ferrari, win or win. Yes or yes.
Enzo Ferrari died in 1988, aged 90, but his name lives on. For millions of people around the world, driving or owning a Ferrari is the stuff of dreams. Italy is a vast country with a climate ranging from the extremes of snow and blistering heat through everything in between. It's also a country made up of many different regions, which until the 19th century were separate territories, mostly under foreign rule. So what does this have to do with Italian cuisine? It means that Italy is lucky enough to have an incredibly diverse range of food crops, cooking styles, traditions and influences. But there is one essential component of Italian cuisine: pasta, in all its wonderful shapes, sizes, colours and flavours. For Italians, fresh is best, and cuisine is based around foods available in season and locally. So people in coastal regions may enjoy their fettuccine with a nice marinara sauce, while the people of Bologna will likely opt for spaghetti, bolognese of course.
Mozzarella has a lovely image because people, great celebrities and people who have good taste eat it, and they love to have it every day on their dishes.
And along with pasta, there's another Italian favourite that's become a real globetrotter: pizza. Baked flatbreads had been around for thousands of years, but pizza came into being in the late 18th century in Naples, when poor people began topping their bread with something different. They added the fruit of an ornamental plant, a member of the deadly nightshade family, tomato. Italians pride themselves on their pizzas, and with good reason. You may find pizza pretty well anywhere in the world, yet nowhere, it seems, does it taste as good as in Italy. Italian food is as much about the social experience as it is the taste. It's about family, friendships, and sharing time together. A very civilized approach. Salute! Long beloved by opera fans, Luciano Pavarotti helped popularize opera, opening it up to a far wider audience. This breakthrough came when he performed at the 1990 World Cup in Italy as one of the three tenors alongside Placido Domingo and Jose Carreras. He supported many causes and gave generously of his time, enlisting the aid of high-profile friends to perform with him in annual charity concert performances. The cream of pop, rock and jazz joined him on stage, raising millions of dollars for major medical, educational and training programs in war and poverty zones around the world.
So it's always a pleasure to sing. I've been with him in Bosnia, I've been with him in New York, I've been with him in Dublin, I've been with him. We're friends. And if a friend asks you to do something, you know, you say yes.
La prima volta è stato veramente uno shock per me, ora mi sono abituato, è la terza volta, perciò il maestro è sempre gentile, mette tutti a suo agio, quindi bene.
Despite his operatic background, he seemed to have an instinctive understanding of popular culture and recognized the power of music. using it to bring all kinds of people together for a common good.
The music is incredible to bring people together and to break any barrier, because it's something positive. The world today needs a special thing in positive. The sport and the music are really a big help, medicine.
In 2007, he died at the age of 71, having left an extraordinarily rich musical and social legacy. As a young boy, Gianni Versace was fascinated with fashion and design and began learning the ropes, helping out in his mother's tailor shop and tinkering with decorative braids and stones. His love of clothing and beautiful detailing never left him, as he built his fashion business into an empire, selling clothing, accessories, fragrances, makeup and home accessories. He brought to the catwalk the supermodels of the photographic world. His parades were glamorous events, drawing massive media attention.
The only style I like is your style, you know, when you express yourself.
He helped many of his clientele express their fashion sense, including Princess Diana, who became a close friend. He also produced award-winning stage costumes with a string of high-profile customers, including Madonna, Tina Turner, and Elton John.
I think Versace is the epitome of sexiness. It's the epitome of fantasy. I don't think it's like straightforward, kind of everyday, ready-to-wear fashion. It is something that a woman puts on when she wants to transport herself into like being a glamazon.
But they bring a new spirit of time, and even the research of material, the precious details, the accessories.
I like Versace because they never forget the sex. I just had to be real about it, you know? You get very classy, but then you get a little sexy with it, you know? And not everybody can do that well. Versace does it best.
With brother Santo and sister Donatella also heavily involved, the House of Versace grew into a billion-dollar international powerhouse. Versace's clothes ranged from $20,000 evening gowns down to funky street fashion. Demand was high, and boutiques popped up around the globe. The fashion world couldn't get enough of Gianni Versace. Tragically, they never would. At the age of 50, he was gunned down by a serial killer. His brother and sister continue the business, keeping the Versace name very much alive.